How to build confidence as an introvert in an extroverted world. Being an introvert in an extroverted world can be challenging. Society often values traits like assertiveness, sociability, and charisma, which can be more commonly associated with extroverts. However, being an introvert doesn't mean that you can't be confident and successful in your personal and professional life. In this article, we'll explore some practical tips on how to be a confident introvert in an extroverted world. 1. Know your strengths. One of the first steps to building confidence as an introvert is to recognize and appreciate your unique strengths. Introverts tend to be great listeners, thinkers, and observers, which can be valuable traits in many situations. Take some time to reflect on what you're good at, what you enjoy doing, and what makes you feel most alive. By focusing on your strengths, you can gain confidence and a sense of purpose. 2. Embrace your introversion. It's important to recognize that being introverted is not a flaw or a weakness. Introverts have their own unique way of processing information, interacting with others, and recharging their batteries. Instead of trying to change or hide your introversion, embrace it and learn to work with it. For example, if you know that you need alone time to recharge, make sure to schedule it into your day. 3. Practice self-care. Taking care of yourself is essential for building confidence and resilience. As an introvert, you may be more sensitive to stimuli like noise and crowds, which can be draining. Make sure to prioritize self-care activities like meditation, exercise, and time in nature to help you recharge and stay grounded. 4. Set boundaries. As an introvert, it's important to set boundaries to protect your energy and time. This means being mindful of how much social interaction you can handle and learning to say no when you need to. It's okay to decline invitations or to leave events early if you're feeling overwhelmed or exhausted. By setting boundaries, you can ensure that you have the energy and space you need to thrive. 5. Focus on quality over quantity. When it comes to relationships and socializing, introverts often prefer deep and meaningful connections over shallow small talk. Instead of trying to fit in with a large group, focus on building authentic relationships with a few people who share your interests and values. By investing in quality relationships, you can feel more fulfilled and connected without sacrificing your introverted nature. 6. Prepare for social situations. Many introverts feel anxious or overwhelmed in social situations, especially if they're meeting new people or attending large events. To help ease this anxiety, it can be helpful to prepare in advance. For example, you could research the event or the people you'll be meeting, practice some conversation starters or questions, and plan some downtime or self-care activities for after the event. 7. Use your strengths to your advantage. As an introvert, you may have strengths that can help you excel in your personal and professional life. For example, introverts tend to be great listeners, which can be a valuable skill in many careers. They also tend to be detail-oriented and analytical, which can be an asset in fields like science, engineering, or finance. By identifying your strengths and finding ways to use them to your advantage, you can build confidence and find success in your chosen path. In conclusion, being an introvert in an extroverted world can be challenging, but it's not impossible to be confident and successful. By focusing on your strengths, embracing your introversion, practicing self-care, setting boundaries, focusing on quality over quantity, preparing for social situations, and using your strengths to your advantage, you can thrive as an introvert in any environment. Remember, being introverted is not a weakness, it's a unique way of being that should be celebrated and embraced. By staying true to yourself and finding ways to work with your introverted nature, you can achieve your goals and lead a fulfilling life. It's also important to note that introversion and extroversion exist on a spectrum, and many people fall somewhere in between. Some people may be more introverted in certain situations and more extroverted in others. The key is to recognize where you fall on the spectrum and find ways to work with your natural tendencies. It's also important to challenge the societal norms that value extroversion over introversion. As more people become aware of the strengths and value of introversion, we can create a more inclusive and accepting world for all personality types. In summary, being a confident introvert in an extroverted world is all about understanding and embracing your strengths, setting boundaries, focusing on quality over quantity, and using your introverted nature to your advantage. By doing so, you can achieve your goals, build meaningful relationships, and lead a fulfilling life. Remember, being introverted is not a weakness, it's a unique and valuable way of being in the world. Finally, it's important to recognize that building confidence as an introvert is an ongoing process. It's not something that happens overnight, but rather something that you can work on over time. Don't be too hard on yourself if you have setbacks or feel like you're not making progress. Remember that building confidence is a journey, and that every step you take is a step in the right direction. If you are struggling with confidence as an introvert, don't hesitate to seek support from friends, family, or a professional. Talking to someone who understands can be incredibly helpful and empowering. In conclusion, being an introvert in an extroverted world can be challenging, but it's not something that you have to hide or apologize for. By embracing your introverted nature, recognizing your strengths, setting boundaries, focusing on quality over quantity, preparing for social situations, and using your strengths to your advantage, you can build confidence and find success in your personal and professional life. Remember, introversion is not a weakness, it's a unique and valuable way of being in the world. As you work on building your confidence as an introvert, it's important to keep in mind that everyone has their own unique strengths and weaknesses. Don't compare yourself to others or try to force yourself to fit into a mold that doesn't suit you. Instead, focus on developing your own strengths and finding ways to use them to your advantage. Another important aspect of building confidence as an introvert is learning to say no. As an introvert, you may feel pressure to say yes to social events or other activities that drain your energy. However, it's important to set boundaries and prioritize your own needs. If you need time to recharge or simply don't feel up to socializing, it's okay to say no. Learning to say no can be difficult, but it's an important part of building confidence and taking control of your own life. Finally, remember that confidence as an introvert doesn't mean that you have to become an extrovert. Embrace your introverted nature and find ways to work with it, rather than against it. Take the time you need to recharge, prioritize meaningful relationships over superficial ones, and focus on your own unique strengths and talents. In conclusion, building confidence as an introvert in an extroverted world is possible, but it requires effort and a willingness to embrace your unique strengths and personality. By setting boundaries, focusing on quality over quantity, preparing for social situations, and using your strengths to your advantage, you can find success and fulfillment in both your personal and professional life. Don't be afraid to seek support and guidance if you need it, and remember that building confidence is an ongoing process. With time and practice, you can become a confident and successful introvert in an extroverted world.